Greetings, fellow friends bound by gravity. Rhadamant here. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Arctic, episode 40. Third time's a charm. Why am I carrying logs? What do you, like... What do you mean? Like, why am I binding them together in a stack? So, each log is, 9 units of weight, and if you combine them into a stack with ropes, it becomes 12 units of weight, down from 36 total. So it's a huge deletion in weight, which means it's, unless you have like an incredibly huge truck with like near infinite capacity, it's a really useful way to lighten the load. Like it almost feels like cheating. That's how much you delete the weight with. You make 4 logs weigh just barely more than 1. And then the other benefit is not even related to trunk space. Trying to move a lot of wood at once, the trips I have to take to and from the van to haul log stacks is just a lot more efficient if they're bundled. Is this new? No, it's not new at all. And the only thing you need for that is sheet ropes or regular ropes. Regular ropes are more weight efficient than sheet ropes. Sheet ropes weigh more than regular ropes, but they both work. So if I had more regular ropes, I would bring regular ropes on this. Because regular ropes are... I think like half the weight of sheet ropes, something like that. I forget exactly. Sheet ropes are 0.8 per, and I think regular ropes are like 0.3. It's like less than half. So if you're really trying to move a lot of timber, the meta would be ropes, 4 log stacks. That's gonna be most bang for your buck. I'm not going to fill the trunk this time, because I want to leave some time in the day to catch up on the books that you guys voted on. When you started, there was a story mode. Yeah, I don't know how long log stacks have been in, but it's been a while. It's just an easy feature to, like, ignore. There's so many little nuances of Project Zomboid that, like, are in no way explained to the player, and they're left for discovery, which is awesome because you learn new things in the game all the time, and you know that feels cool. But then it can be frustrating when you're like, I didn't know that. Why didn't I know that? After, you know, having hauled the units by hand for so long. I can see it both ways. I remember the story mode. Kate and Bald Spot. Fighting when tired sucks. Do trees regrow? They do. On my server settings, I think they regrow, like, very, very slowly. But in normal Project Zomboid, there's really no problem cutting down trees because they'll regrow. And in fact, the opposite kind of happens, where it becomes annoying, because certain pathways in Zomboid are like dirt paths, and as time progresses, those dirt paths become overgrown and untraversable if you don't chop down the saplings. So, for instance, driving to the army base, if you wait long enough, the drive becomes nearly impassable with tree growth. As an example. Which is cool, right? It's the concept of, like, humans were maintaining these paths until the zombies arrived. But then, if you're trying to get there, it sucks because you won't be able to. Zombies make for very poor path maintenance. I know, unlike State of Decay, where they're constantly repairing fences. Only the State of Decay zombies could be employed over here as trail maintenance. Everyone will be left happy. I didn't even rearm my traps. Man, I am not good at that. I'll get back there sometime. So we are at 53 hours. That's pretty good. And the axe didn't break. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about the next major update as well, as it will be the first major update to include NPCs in some shape or form, and then a huge overhauling of the crafting, farming skill systems. Though the one worry I have is that so many systems are changing, and likely for the better, that it's just going to be a nightmare to debug. You know, the more you change, the more it can go wrong. But who knows? I haven't played it, so it could be wondrous, and all of my doubts are unfounded. Yep, I was right. So ropes are 0.3 apiece, and sheet ropes are 0.8. So ropes are way better to carry, almost a third of the weight than regular ropes. So we're trying to cut down a lot of wood. Grab ropes, grab a wood axe. You'd be good to go. Well, I have left a frighteningly little amount of time to actually catch up on reading. So I think I'll probably continue reading tomorrow so that I actually get some of it done. So today was just like base maintenance, and I haven't even checked the crops for diseases yet. Or made food for the day. Or rearm the traps because I forgot to. Animal rearing will be really cool. I hope so. I hope it will be rather involved. One thing, and I've said this about Zomboid in the past, but I'll reiterate. One of the things that I think Zomboid lacks, which is going to be tricky to tackle, but still important, is like the concept of an endgame. Because unless you use mods or like come up with your own goals, after a month or two of in-game preparation, like there is very little for the player to do. And you have to kind of make up your own fun. And I have no problem in that, but it would be cool if there was more sort of quote-unquote endgame content than there is currently. I'd be down. Oh, it's still frozen. It's like, why can't I butcher this? So my weight is nearly leveled off at 80, so I probably don't want to add lard to the stew. I'm going to be careful about making it too hearty, or splitting it up into like 16ths if it is really hearty. This will be the first major update since you started playing. Yeah, well, should be an exciting one. I hope. These are 29 apiece. I'll eat them in eighths. I'm also going to put the cabbage and, oddly enough, cereal in the freezer, just because I'll grab it for trapping. I just don't want the cabbage to rot in my inventory. Not that I'm going to run out. I have so much extra cabbage. Is there nearby to do fishing for food? That's a good question. I don't really know. I'd have to look at the map. Probably not super close by. So the river is to my northeast or northwest, but equidistantly far, and then the major park of the golf club is to my south. So I'm actually situated in a position that is like particularly bad for it. So we take a look. I'm here. The water's out here, which is like what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks away in to the northwest and northeast. And then the park is down here, which is another like 6 blocks away. So every major body of water seems to be about 6 blocks away. So not really. It's not that feasible of a thing to do unless I just want to do it for the novelty. I don't mind doing it for the novelty though. But I also don't have a fishing pole or line or skill or any of that. Okay, farming book is done. So I'll spend today reading, and that should finish the catching up on books. So here is a new list that you guys can vote on that includes some of the newest options suggested, which are find a more reliable vehicle and level up metalworking so that I can do more car maintenance. So the metalworking book and the carpentry book are the last two that I haven't read. I'll work on metalworking first. Well, there goes the entire day. I'm gonna use some of whatever remains of the daylight to maintain the farm. Fireplace has got just over a day left. I'm too lazy to cut these logs, so I'm just gonna huck them in as logs. So 53 hours now, that's good. These seedlings are parched. I got you. Did I never water them when I re-sowed them? I feel like they needed a lot of water. I must have forgotten. So they're not... They won't be sickly soon. Nope, yep. The water levels on these seedlings. Yeah, I forgot to water them. Well, that's dumb. They're introducing growing seasons, so it's gonna be a lot harder to farm in the winter. Yep. Oh boy, you are a real problem. Mildew and devil's water fungus. Bye bye. So that was strawberries. If I want to replace them. When you have mildew and fungus competing to kill the plant. Oh, and this is also devil's water. This is potatoes. Gotta go. I might replace it with something else. Something I don't have a lot of. Okay, plants have been checked. I don't have a lot of broccoli out here. I don't think. So I'll put broccoli in. One thing I'm curious is if I click the same square... Okay, yeah, if I click the same square, I think it doesn't add to the weird graphical nonsense. Project Stardew incoming? Alright, everything is well watered. So that task is done. I also got a worm from that, too. Level up metalworking will be my next task. Hey Tangier, thanks for gifting out a sub. Whoa, I am hypothermic. It is like -70 out. I did, to be fair, chose to just like casually read outside at night, 2 in the morning. In the freezing cold. Yeah, it's getting colder. Getting a lot colder. So the last thing I want to read is the level 5 carpentry book, which is somewhere in this pile. There it is. I don't think I'm going to be working at fishing or foraging. Then leveling up metalwork. One of the things I want to do level up metalwork is to get rid of that wreck that's in the intersection next to home. Because I've almost hit that thing like a dozen times. I think I might hear a zombie in the garage downstairs. Why it concerns me, I have no idea. Definitely could just leave it there. Look, it's actual grass. Yep, I heard you. Another thing I'm missing in this base is the fences to sheet ropes for the other directions. I really only have it to the van, which means there's, unless I want to jump off the ledge, which is not high enough to do me any harm really, but like there isn't an easy way to get up from the other directions, which is not great. You know what would make me even colder? Now that I've already screwed up the water. Let's get clean clothing. Nothing like being soaking wet, sitting outside in the negative, like, 70-degree temperature. Seems like a good idea. So my body response is I am definitely fighting cold in my extremities. But my skin temperature is like not terrible at the moment. Although it's getting colder, as you can see, as the longer I sit out here. So, yeah, I'm freezing. Time to go inside. As much as I enjoy sitting outside for the, oh, now I'm burning. And very hungry. As much as I enjoy the not boredom of being outside, it is killing me. Interestingly, it's like not that raw. It's not that much, like it's not the record that I've seen, but it's the fact that I like drenched my clothing to clean it, getting me soaking wet. It's totally self-inflicted, but you know, Victor's last name is Freeze, so he's just trying to live up to his name. Beard icicles? Yeah. I've never experienced temperature this cold, So it's probably a bit worse than that. It's probably like your eyes are starting to freeze over. Your lips are more of a solid than a liquid. I'd imagine it's kind of more that direction of how cold it is, but who knows? Whoa! That farm plot gave me a whopping 6 cabbages. That's some pretty low yield. It's something I did intentionally. I lowered the yield to make it harder to rely on farming to sort of simulate how cold it is, but normally you get a lot more than 6 cabbages from that. You had some interesting temps with hard mode cryogenic winter mod? Yes. Yes. I mean, it only can simulate so much, right? So it does get to a point where it's like, yeah, none of the game mechanics are making sense at the moment because it's colder than the game can even accommodate. But how cold Fahrenheit or Celsius does it get on hard mode? I haven't even checked. I suspect it's something like ridiculous. Like -100. Yeah, if they made it work like in real life, there'd be no way to survive it. Or they'd have to introduce modified game mechanics to be able to survive it. $120 Fahrenheit or so? Yeah, that's pretty cold. It's actually one of the things I found most interesting about some of the YouTube comments I got, which was like, "Oh, it's not realistic. I hear like birds chirping and like you're, you know, there's like liquid water in the rivers." It's like, do you know how much effort it would be to like actually simulate this temperature? Like Zomboid's not designed for it, and the mod only does so much. Like, you essentially want to rewrite a huge portion of the game's code for, like, the giggles. Yeah, I get it. Game doesn't simulate -120 properly. There's going to be ambient noise of, like, crickets and birds and liquid water. But it does its best. It's the most we can ask for. You want Miracles or Riot? My answer is normally, if you don't like it, make a better mod. Because after all, mods are freely provided to the community. So, you know, I tend not to complain about things I get for free. Or that otherwise would make me a Karen, I think is the term. Not to say that the YouTube commenters are Karens. I'm not calling you guys Karens. Just saying, mod's free, it only does so much. Same of any mod. How's my... Oh, wait. 80 and still climbing. As was prophesized. It doesn't help that I just keep shoveling the food in, but... You couldn't imagine taking the time to do all the checks to make sure food freezes outside below freezing. You know what's funny is I actually went into the server settings and did some of that myself. The way I did it was I combined like the 6 months later setting to make sure that all the fresh produce was already like fully decayed and rotted. But then I have food decayed at the lowest rate possible in Zomboid, because I knew everywhere, you know, is going to be below freezing. So I've kind of already done that footwork because that was in the server settings. There's a server setting for like the global food rot rate, and I just set that to like extremely slow, or I forget exactly the terminology for it. So I already got that covered. I could probably leave my fresh produce out for like a weeks before it would rot, because that was one of the settings that you could select. But there's a lot of other stuff like making sure all, like there isn't like a liquid dynamics, right? This isn't like Minecraft where like rivers can freeze and whatever. But trying to make sure that like all liquids would freeze and all the ambient noise of the animals would go away. I actually wouldn't even like that. I suppose it would somewhat simulate what it's like to play a deaf character. So some of that code base is already exists in Zomboid. But I don't think I would like the sort of ambient noise to disappear. And then of course there was some comments of like, how are zombies even moving? It's like -40 out. It's like, they're zombies. What do you mean? Like, zombies are different depending on the lore. Zombies aren't real. Like, I hate to break to you, but they don't follow the laws of thermodynamics because they don't exist. They're not real, and yes, they don't have to freeze in the winter if you don't want them to, because it's fiction. All water bottles and soda cans burst. Yeah, you'd have to like wear a camel pack on your chest underneath like layers of coats, stuff like that. Yeah, that last one I couldn't really wrap my head around. I'm like, wait, you're bothered that the zombies aren't frozen? Okay. Well, I guess you can't use your imagination then. And I'm sorry for the childhood that you had to endure. That one had me shrugging. Yeah, let's make it more realistic. Step 1, delete all zombies. What are we left with? Well, not much of a game, I'm afraid. It's the same reason why in most zombie lore, you don't have, like, people running around in, like, full riot gear going, oh, zombies can't bite me. It's like, the whole threat of zombie movies and TV shows is that you can die. As soon as you remove that threat, you're not left with very much. It then just becomes a soap opera with, like, less soap and more dirt. One thing I don't remember is, like, where I left metalworking things to be broken down. So we're going to go on a bit of an exploration here. So let me update the priority. So I'm trying to level up metalworking to at least 3 so that I can repair the trunk of the van, because the trunk's kind of damaged. But the higher, the better. And my metalworking is a whopping 50 into the 300. So might take a while. $100 now. This metal work too? No, this is a nothing. It's a chair that doesn't have a skill associated. This is actually going faster than I thought it would. Just because there's so much stuff left in these apartments to dismantle. Take the metal sheets. I guess I could, yeah. I'll eventually have need of them. These are small metal sheets, though, which serve a bit less of a purpose. You can still repair with them, but just not very effectively. And I don't have the mod that allows you to make small ones into big ones. Oh, that was a washer-dryer combo. Man, the people that live here are living the high life. I am going to have to turn in, though, because I can't see at all. And we know what happens when I can't see. Why can't I just, like, right-click, use rope? No, because he's doing it again! Oh, you fool. And I'm fractured again. So if you were wondering when I was going to fracture myself, it's now. Time to limp to the car. I need to just add ropes everywhere. And just, you know, it's the same shin, too. I know that they say, like, when you break your bones, they heal better. Soon, I'm gonna have, like, legs of an ogre. They're just gonna be so, well reinforced from the multiple impacts of, continuous fracturing that I'll have the shin bones of, like, a kickboxer. Well, I'm splinted. Gotta get that really inefficient first aid skill. 10 XP at a time. Oh, yeah. We need a broken leg emote. It's actually... So, there's a long-running meme on the channel of broken ankles. A lot of the games that I play, like playing Mountain Blade Bannerlord or... you know, any action-adventure RPG, I would, like, jump and break my ankles. So there's a pretty good, well-established history of me snapping my ankles. I could definitely get behind an emote of like, oh, broke my ankle again. It's actually something I did in real life. When I was young, I tore multiple ligaments. Well, actually, in both ankles. You know, for fun. For sports. For fun. Yeah, poor alloy. Yep. Exactly. The good news is I've got 99 fuel. So limping out to the trees is not something I'll have to do immediately. The other thing is I'll probably end up overeating in order to stay nice and well fed to heal faster, which means Victor's heading to Fat Town. Population Victor. Who needs legs? Break your shins and ankles enough that you'll learn how to float and fly, right? Yeah, if I'm truly learning from my mistakes, I'll eventually learn to fly. It's really too bad, because that song is pretty iconic, and it was written by a pretty heinous human. Thank you for tuning in to Project Zomboid Arctic, which originally streamed live on Twitch May 25th. If you have any feedback or questions for me, let me know in the comments below. If you'd like to catch a live stream of mine, Rhadamant.com has my stream schedule and countdown timers to upcoming streams. If you would like to join my gaming community, Rhadamant.com also has a link to Discord, as does the description of this video. Thank you so very much for watching, and a special thank you to my Patreon patrons, Twitch subscribers, and viewers like you that support the channel and made it all the way to the credits. Thank you so very much. Hope to catch you next episode or an upcoming stream. Farewell, my fellow zombie slayers.